Thank you for double-clicking your mouse tonight. You're listening to the Midnight FrightCast in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Midnight FrightCast episode number 16. I am one of your hosts, Josh. Sitting alongside to my right, I had to do the hand thing again, is Greg.
Hi. I just got done laughing because of party wieners.
Yeah, huge laugh attack. And then across the table, as always, is Patrick. Sometimes he's to my left. Today he's across the table.
Yeah.
He's to your far right.
Yeah.
Far
reach around.
Yeah.
Right.
It's getting started already.
Yes, it is.
It started with party
We're going to do
wieners.
something a little bit different tonight. So the first half of the FrightCast, we are going to have GTMG, that would be Greg the Movie Guy, take over the FrightCast and lead us through a little bit of a nostalgia kind of 80's cast thing that we did for August. And yeah, Greg, just take over and lead us through that.
In a world where the Midnight Fright Group spends the entire month of August watching movies from the 1980s. That's basically about it. We spent the entire month of August, and we've got one more day left, and I know at least 3 of us have to complete, if Tom can complete this challenge.
Even if he stayed awake until midnight tomorrow, there's no way he can complete this.
What if he's watching 2 movies at the same time?
Well, that's possible, but yeah.
That would be insanity. I don't know how he would do that. I know, Josh, you've got 2 more?
I got 3 more, so I'm smashing 2 tonight, and then I'll get through with that 1 tomorrow. And I will do better in this 80s challenge than I did in our October challenge last year.
Which I find weird because... No, go ahead.
But this October, we're doing it again.
Yes.
And I've got some momentum. So
Maybe
I'll
it's because we
smash.
shamed him so much last time that
He came back with a vengeance.
Yeah, he felt like
It was
he had to do better.
embarrassing. I think he only did 15 in that October challenge.
Which is fair. I'm glad that you came back with a vengeance because you've kept me, both of you have kept me on my toes. I've got 4 left to go before tomorrow. I probably won't finish, but we'll see what I can come up with.
October, I've got some momentum, so I'll smash October.
And speaking of side note, for October, did you see that they're making a Houses That October Built 2?
I did see that. I saw that before you shared that article.
Really?
But I let it go because I was like, we fucking hated the first one. Who's going to watch the second one?
See, I liked the first
but
one.
Patrick's insane.
I can't decide how I feel about that movie yet.
Yeah.
I've watched it twice. Both times I was kind of nauseated by the camera work, but the concept of it is intriguing to me, and I keep thinking about that movie. Like, I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch it again.
Yeah.
And now that they're making a second one, it's like, well, son of a bitch. Maybe I should just like the movie and call it good.
Would
I
you
don't
see
know.
a sequel to that movie, Patrick? Would you watch that?
I definitely would watch
Really?
a sequel to it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's table that for when we actually do the October one, because I don't think I ever had an open dialogue with you, Patrick, about why you enjoyed that movie so much, and I would like to.
Clowns.
Clowns.
Me. Okay.
Yeah, Greg.
Then why the hell do I like it then? I'm never watching it again. So anyway, back to the 1980s.
Yeah.
We spent the entire month watching 80s movies, and we're just going to kind of go
80s
on a little...
pornography.
Not quite. But the mustaches were still good.
Yeah.
We kind of wanted just to...
The mustaches or the mustache rides?
Yeah, both.
Yes.
Okay.
We just kind of wanted to go through our lists of what we had watched, since we are the sole breadwinners of this, and Tom is out, not here. Just kind of want to go through, and I know we kind of talking about our top 5 from this. I want to change that up a little bit, and I'm doing this on the spot so you don't have a whole lot of time to think about it. I'd like to do this. If you want to do your top 5, that's fine. However, I'd like to kind of go with which movies, because we've all watched movies that were new to us in this, correct?
Yeah,
Which
all except for one.
all except for one. Okay,
yeah,
good.
Patrick went
I-
balls to the wall.
I think I did about 25% new, 75% ones that I had seen
That's
before.
more than I did.
I'd like to at least mention a new movie that you loved, a new movie that you hated, and then maybe some of the best ones that you have on your list that you watched. If that is
What was that
legit.
third one? Loved, hated, and what?
Just maybe the top 3 that you absolutely like, that's your absolute favorite from what you watched. So I can actually kickstart us.
Yeah,
if
why
guys,
don't you do that? Because
I will do that.
I have to go through my list.
In a world where Greg kickstarts the top 10 list, top 3 weirdness list. I am currently sitting at big number 27. I tried to watch as many new movies in this as I could because there's a lot of 80s movies. I'm 34. I was not of age to watch a lot of these 80s movies when they came out the first time around, which I'm bummed about. But
34?
yeah, I turned 34 in September.
Damn. All right.
I'm right behind you, man.
You're 35.
Shut up.
What? We're not going to talk about how old I am.
Yeah. We'll skip that. We don't have time.
He's 35 times 2.
Yeah.
Not quite.
Damn.
Wow.
I'm being a dick. So in the new ones that I had watched, I think my all-time favorite of the new ones was one that I had actually watched today. That was the Blues Brothers. Yes, I have not seen the Blues Brothers. I have seen it now.
Yeah.
Really, really enjoyed this movie. The soundtrack in it, oh my God, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi are hilarious, really without even trying to be. And just, I had a lot of fun watching this movie. So I think that was probably my all-time favorite out of the new ones that I had watched. One of my least favorites on the list, and I actually have 2 that I could say here. One was called Mazes and Monsters, was a 1982 film that starred young Tom Hanks, based in a Dungeons and Dragons type game. Was a little more dramatic than I was expecting, a little bit trying to be too of a feel-good movie, if you could call it a feel-good movie. Patrick, you've seen it. Do you call it a feel-good movie? I don't know what to really
No,
call
it's not. It was a made-for-TV drama.
Okay.
So it's not really a feel-good movie.
Cautionary tale?
Cautionary tale, I would say, more than anything.
Okay. So that was probably one of the least favorite that I watched. Also watched Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Really just could not get into this movie.
That bums me out.
I know. I know you enjoy it. I know other people enjoy it, and I'm sorry I have my opinions based on it, but I just, it didn't really do much for me. There wasn't a lot of great aspects to it, except for the whole Phoebe Cates getting out of the pool awesomeness. That was probably about it. So otherwise, I got to see a lot of my favorite movies. Ghostbusters, I gave a 5-star to. Vacation, National Lampoon's Vacation, I gave a 5-star to. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? I haven't seen that in so long.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what they were able to do, what was that, 1988 when that came out. The mix between animation and live action was incredible. Absolutely incredible. And it shot in noir style, which was even a lot more fun. So
I'm a big fan of the cartoon they played before the movie, when they used to do that.
Oh, yeah.
I like that part too.
So that's kind of the top on mine. Also watching The Breakfast Club, Back to the Future, Empire Strikes Back, all 5 stars. There's just so many goddamn good movies in the 1980s.
Yeah. I'll run through mine really quick. I'll kind of join you in the movie I liked, movie I hated, movie I loved that I hadn't seen. So I watched, I had never seen Children of the Corn. So I was like, I gave that a shot. I don't have any of these dates. I didn't write any of the years down. They're just not in front of me. Children of the Corn was super bummed about. I you hear a lot about it, and I gave it a whirl. Just could not. I mean, I finished it, but I just did not like it. They got 10 movies out of that that franchise. By the way, I have no idea how they got through the first one, beyond the fact that it's Stephen King. But yeah, not great. The movie I liked, I'd never seen. Tom Hanks and Shelley Long in Money Pit.
Oh, okay.
I'd never seen that. That had a ton of laugh out loud moments, a lot of really great bits, and movie I loved, which was really surprising. St. Elmo's Fire.
Yep.
St. Elmo's Fire was a really fantastic movie. I'd never seen it. Brat Pack.
John Hughes.
Another Brat Pack movie.
That was John Hughes, wasn't it?
Again.
I think so.
Just really, really, really great flick. I would go back and watch that again in a heartbeat if there's one on my list. But so those are the three I'd never seen that I dug. Otherwise, my top 5 from 5 to 1 was Teen Wolf, I actually wrote down a list and then I crossed some off because I couldn't decide.
Wow.
But,
Joel Schumacher.
But yeah, going down the list, Teen Wolf 5. I couldn't leave Monster Squad off the list. It's just one of my favorite movies of all time. I put St. Elmo's Fire on there, obviously. We watched Breakfast Club as a group. That was an enjoyable little time. I like watching. It was fun to watch that with Elizabeth, who had never seen it, because I was watching for like reactions, like, "Oh, she's gonna love this part," or "Oh, she's gonna like." And then she really she didn't hate it, but I didn't get the reactions that I thought I was gonna get out of that from her. But Breakfast Club's always a great watch. And then tonight, I haven't watched it yet. It's gonna be my 31. Say Anything is gonna just light every one of those movies on fire. So I love that movie. So that's my top 5. One thing really quick that we have not talked about, we have not touched on really at all for this 80s thing, is the music of the 80s is just
phenomenal.
Drove those movies. The soundtracks in those movies just all together are just straight fire. Like all the music in those movies just...
I would argue, however, that it was make or break with the music.
Okay.
Because there's some movies out there that are just phenomenal because of the music.
Yeah.
I mean, like St. Elmo's Fire, that's one of those where the music just completely drives that movie all the way through. Great movie, great music, but then you hit some of these others where they've got the synthesizer style music and stuff like that, and it's just really horrible, and the movie itself was bad. So, I mean, I think there's a bit of a correlation.
I would even give the music in Howard the Duck pretty high, a nice little high 5. And that music was really rough.
Yeah.
But Leah Thompson singing, Howard the Duck at the end of that movie, just high 5. Love it.
Great.
I'm looking at Patrick like, Howard the Duck, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, I just, oh, God.
Yeah. All right, Patrick, 80s. Take us through it.
Now, I did the challenge a little bit differently than the rest of them. I was a teenager in the 80s, and so I saw tons of 80s movies. I'm a big fan of 80s movies. So my challenge was to see 80s movies that I'd never seen before, except for, with the one exception, Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
So I saw 30 80s movies I'd never seen before. And I think because of the fact I'd never seen them before, some of them were outright stinkers. They were just bad. I was surprised at how many John Candy movies I had not seen.
Me too.
Oh, really?
And I didn't. And there was one of them I didn't do. I was going to see Great Outdoors.
You haven't seen that
I've not seen that one, but somebody else saw it and put it on there. I think you did.
I love that movie.
So that one's on my list to watch. So I was just very, very impressed with John Candy because I never knew the breadth of his acting ability except for just watching him do stupid things.
Yeah.
But then to see him play absolutely tender characters and realistic characters,
What John Candy movie had you seen? Because
well, for me, it was things like Home Alone, where he just had those little bit parts. And, Trains, Planes, and Automobiles. I've not seen Only the Lonely.
He had Summer Rental on there.
Summer Rental, I saw that was
Uncle
one of them.
Buck on there.
I saw Uncle Buck. Those are the two that I saw.
John Candy movies.
Uncle Buck was the one that I saw that I said they're going to hear. He plays that uncle that has disassociated himself from the rest of the family, and then he has to step in as a father figure.
Yeah.
And did a really wonderful job with it. So great moments in that. So it was nice to go back and visit those types of things as well. So while you said let's talk about our loved, our hated, I had several that were on that hated list. It started off with like one of the first ones I saw, which was Beastmaster, which should have just been called Shitmaster. Okay. And then there was one that I watched because it had Shannon Tweed in it, who's always nice to look at, and Bill Maher, who actually tried acting at some point. And this movie was called Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death. Okay, so just by the name, I should have known, but I had to bear through, and so that was at the bottom of my list. Meet the Feebles, which is actually one of Peter Jackson's early movies.
I've seen that movie.
Where it's like R-rated Muppet type things.
Audio Visual was one of the only video stores in town that carried that movie.
Yeah, because people on drugs, filming porno, all sorts of different things in there. But it just made no sense to me. watching it. So that was towards the bottom of the list. But at the very, very bottom of my list, and you guys will remember this because of the photo that I posted, it was called Marquis. It was a French art movie from the 1980s, and the photo that I posted was the actors. They all wore animal masks, and the photo that I posted along with my review was the Marquis de Sade sodomizing his jailer with a lobster smeared with mayonnaise. It was just way too bizarre. 60% of the dialogue was him talking to his own penis. And it was an animated penis. So that one got I think I gave it a half star or something. So that's down at my, I should have known better.
I award you no stars, and may God have mercy on your soul.
But then we're talking about, ones that I loved. Once again, like I said, seeing the John Candy stuff. Breakfast Club will be one of my favorite movies for the rest of my life, obviously. I'd never seen a couple of these Woody Allen movies, Hannah and Her Sisters. Good movie. I don't know if it met my expectation in the sense of how much people loved it and everything else, but still a good movie. There was a Scorsese movie I'd never seen before, After Hours, which was really good. But I think the one I have to put at the top of my list is a movie called Blood Simple. And it was the Coen brothers' very first movie.
Oh, nice.
And it had shades of Fargo in it. I could see a lot of Fargo in that movie. So that one definitely shaped what they did later on. So that's my list.
Okay. We'll be back after these messages.
That's it.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
All right, now welcome back to the Midnight FrightCast. We are going to now go around and chat about what we've been watching horror-related wise, and then we're going to talk about our movie of the week, right? Yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
So let's go through. Let's go round table, round robin, whatever you want to call it. And dare I say, Greg, did you watch any horror this week?
No.
No?
Except for the movie of the week. Or
Okay.
the feature movie, whatever you call it.
So your list is really short. That's as
It's
far
a
as what you've been
little
watching.
slim.
A little short.
It's a little 1980s.
I know what it's like just to be a little too short. Patrick,
Party wiener.
Yeah, but go ahead.
you want me to go first?
Yeah, go first because I'm trying to remember the exact name of this movie that I saw.
Okay, I mean, I have three. Because of the 80s thing, it's been a little bit tough squeezing the extra stuff in. I've, again, been hanging around on Amazon Prime because that's where I'm going to take my October challenge just over the goddamn top because there's so much horror on Amazon Prime. It's not even funny. I watched a movie the other night called Clown Town, and I watched it just for Greg. It's your typical... Again, I try not to bag, and I talked to Greg a little bit about this the other day. I try not to bag on indie horror films. This movie definitely had somewhat of a budget, though, and I'm sure I can call it indie because one of the producers on the film was Robert Kirkman, who's the creator of
Walking Dead, yeah.
And so there's no reason with his name attached that this movie should have been as bad as it was. I'm not even going to give it a lot of time. If you're floating around on Amazon Prime and you come across Clown Town, watch it at your own risk. It does rip off Halloween at the beginning of the movie. There's a babysitter watching these two kids. The last name of the kids is Strode. And it's a kid dressed up as a clown that kills his babysitter. Straight out of John Carpenter's Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first thing I did notice about that movie. Again, if you're floating around on Amazon Prime and you come across Clown Town, if you feel like you want to waste an hour and a half watching a bunch of clowns running around, pull the trigger, my friend. So that's the first one on my list. You want to do round robin, Patrick?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, go.
I caught one on Netflix called Demonic, and it's about a group of ghost hunters that things go horribly wrong at a possessed house type thing. And I felt it had trouble finding what it wanted to be because it was a combination of found footage and regular style cinematography, and it just didn't work for me at the end. I mean, it was worth a watch, but I'm probably not going to recommend it to anybody.
Are you avoiding certain movies that you want to watch?
I'm avoiding
October?
movies from 2016 because I've got the entire month planned out.
October. Yeah. I'm doing a weird thing. I'm planning genres. So I'm planning like a week of slashers and a week of like sharks or like water type horror films. So I'm trying to like plan it that way and see what I can get out of that. Going back to Amazon Prime, I watched a movie on there called Wicked One. This is from a guy we actually interviewed on here when we first started doing the Midnight FrightCast, Roman Josart. He's done a handful of feature films. The Wicked One, I think he was the cinematographer, and his studio 605 was attached to this as well. Again, no budget, but what they did with what they had, everything looks really great. They shoot on some pretty high-end equipment for what they have. Story's a little bit stagnant. It's a little bit plain, but look-wise and budget-wise, they did a pretty good job. I would check out the Wicked One. Definitely it's on Amazon Prime. You get on there and look it up. It's definitely worth a watch. So it's quick too. It's nice and quick and to the point. There's not a lot of setup. It just goes. So
Okay.
Yeah.
On Hulu, there's a series I started watching called Stand Against Evil, and it's kind of like Hulu's answer to Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Okay.
Very similar type thing. Stan, played by, I can never remember the actor's name. I really enjoy his work, though. He was on Scrubs. He was the doctor that always made fun of everybody and was kind of an asshole.
Come on, Greg. Didn't you watch that show?
Ken something.
I can never remember his name.
He was older guy.
Kind of. This guy right there, whatever his name is.
Oh, shit. John McGinley.
Okay, I'll take that as an answer.
John C. McGinley. Yeah.
But he's great in it. But it's very similar to Ash versus the Evil Dead because the makeup is very similar, the effects are very similar.
Okay.
Where it's just kind of cheesy all the way through. It's kind of meant to be a comedy.
I have not seen Ash vs. Evil Dead. Is that worth a watch?
First season was. I haven't been able to catch the second season.
Okay, that just came out. Second season just came out on Blu-ray. So that might be something I pick up because I want to check that out.
Otherwise, I didn't catch any other horror. I watched Handmaid's Tale, a couple episodes of that, and that's good.
I'm going to wrap it up then with one last one really quick, though, because it's one that I've been actually chasing for a while. I've talked to Greg, I know about this multiple times, because I had a similar story that I was telling for a little while, and then I put it off to the side because this movie came around, and I was like, shit, it's kind of like the same fucking thing, and I don't want to do that. So there's a movie that came out called Pet. Again, it's on Amazon Prime. I'm gonna fuck his last name up. It's he was in Lord of the Rings. He played.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I just can't think of his last name. He's in it, and he plays a guy that he works in a kennel. As just like low on the totem pole kind of worker there.
Monahan.
And he runs into a girl that he went to high school with and becomes kind of obsessed with her. And he kidnaps her and locks her in a cage in the basement of this dog kennel. And it is one of those movies where you think every time you know where it's going to go, it veers way left.
Now, I will say, don't give any spoilers on it.
I won't.
Because it's a 2016 movie. And the reason I looked at you weird is because it is on my list.
Okay,
of
it's
2016.
So goddamn good. It's like, it's not. This is what a couple of things I learned from that movie. I can go back to writing what I was writing because it's not that at all. It's not even remotely close. And like I said, it's one of those movies that every time you think, all right, it's just gonna just keep going down this straight path, it veers way the fuck off that path. So watch it. I loved it. I was like, so worth the wait. It's not like gore. It's super psychological. It's like a mind game. It's like one of those. Yeah.
What did you say it was on?
Amazon Prime.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's free on Amazon Prime.
I like that.
Right there. So chase that movie. It's really, really good. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Because,
Excellent.
yeah, I don't want to ruin it. So, yeah. Let's get to our main movie. Yeah?
Yeah.
Got anything else?
Nope.
That's
Okay.
it.
So, who wants to go? You chose it, Patrick. Go.
Yep. Let's. The movie we chose for this week is called. It's a 2017 movie called Eloise. 4 friends break into an abandoned insane asylum in search of a death certificate, which will grant one of them a large inheritance. However, finding it soon becomes the least of their worries in a place haunted by dark memories. Let's see, what did it get on IMDb? Gave it 4.5 out of 5. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 17% on the audience review and 0% on the tomato meter. Now, I don't know if that's because it's so relatively new, people haven't had a chance to get on there, but there are 7 actual critic reviews on there and only 277 audience ratings on there. So, yeah,
Wait,
17
did you
and
say got-
0.
Let's hope it's because
Tomato
it's new.
So it got super low scores, is what you're saying.
It
right?
got super low scores on. Oh, now it's 4.5 out of 10 on IMDb. So let me fix
yikes.
that. So it's below likable on IMDb and just above abysmal on Rotten Tomatoes.
What? When was it released? Does it say?
2017, but February 2017.
So it's been out the entire year, basically.
Go. Who wants to start?
Well, I think we should start with the person who liked it most, which I think was Greg.
Yeah.
Boy, I kind of look like a jackass now.
I haven't said if I liked it or not yet, so.
Fair enough.
I will tell you
And
straight up.
I know that we've already got counterpoint between the two of you.
Right.
Yeah. Who kicked it?
Me.
Damn it, Greg.
Sorry.
Go, Greg.
I got to get a different table is what needs to happen.
We need a round table is what we need.
All right. Let's see what I can do about that.
I did enjoy this movie. It was I'm trying to think of the words I want to say. Because it was a little flat at times, and I think the one part that really turned me off about it was the flip-flopping between present day and the past. I don't know what you would call that.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
And maybe that's where I'm getting tripped up at. But I thought that they interplayed it really well. The part that I really liked was how they wrapped the story up at the end, so to speak. And I won't give out spoilers if I can help it because it is relatively new.
Yeah.
I thought the characters were decent. I think the story had some uniqueness, a unique value to it, which I liked. I don't know. I really can't pinpoint. I mean, there was a couple really cool scenes in there. There was a couple pretty gruesome scenes in there, which if you're doing a horror movie, then kudos to you. You did that one right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the movie.
And counterpoint from Josh.
Yeah, so for me, I wrote a couple of things down. So for me, and I watched it Saturday because we were supposed to do this cast on Sunday, and I wanted it to be fresh.
Right.
Now we're like four or 5 days in.
Right.
So it's not as fresh, but I wrote notes down to kind of guide me through a little bit. For me, it took about 50 to 60 minutes to get this movie even kind of going. And even then, it never really got going. I couldn't... there's the guy that played Scotty when he was getting, like... He played the kid that got him into the...
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I could never tell, like, if he was laughing or crying. I don't know if the acting was just terrible, but when he was going through the thing that he was doing to the... I was like, is he laughing or is he crying? This guy is like, really awful.
Right.
That was kind of bothering me. It wasn't a scary movie. There was no... For a movie that's about, like... Shit, I did it. For a movie that's about, like haunting and, like, ghosts and stuff, there was no real, like, fear in this movie at all. I didn't think there was any moments at all where I was like,
I mean,
I sat through that movie. I sat through Annabelle, and that movie I was like, uh-oh, here it comes.
There was a couple points in there where I felt like they were more pressing it towards more of the staff, like especially the doctor who's played by Robert Patrick, who I thought was probably the best part of that entire movie.
And it's unfortunate he was cast in this movie because whenever somebody of star fame is in a movie, it pulls me out of it.
I got another comment.
Oh, especially in a horror movie, because
that's it, specifically in horror.
Yeah. I completely hear you there. But yeah, you go in, you see him in there, and you immediately typecast him because you know exactly what he's going to be doing. And yeah, he was exactly that. But for what he was cast in, I thought he did pretty well with it.
And then who thought Elijah Dushku just did this fucking movie for a paycheck? Because that's all I thought. I was like, she did not have to do this movie. She already did Wrong Turn and graduated from the horror thing a few years ago. Mm-hmm. She did not have to do...
what has she been doing since then, though?
She's beyond this point, though. She's beyond this...
I haven't seen her...
Like, Robert Patrick goes to, like, conventions and shit because he needs a little bit of funding.
Right.
I don't think Elijah Dushku is there yet. Granted, I can't give you any examples of what she's been doing, but I don't think she's at that point in her career where she's got to do this.
She might. I mean, I would agree with you. I think she might be at that tipping point because I literally cannot think of anything as of late that she has done.
Yeah.
And I really haven't followed her career since Wrong Turn.
Yeah.
So.
And did anybody call the end at the beginning?
No.
Yeah, I just called it. I was bored after like they show her in the room, and they say, what's his name? And right out of the gate, I was like, okay, this dude either doesn't exist or, and then they go back to that same spot, at the end.
Once it got to the young girl being handed the thing she was handed, that's when I said, oh, all right. So I mean, it was telegraphed.
Yeah, it was a super like. I know where you're going in each, like I know every beat, and I'm all right. Now I'm going to call this, and that's my fault. I ruin it for myself when I do that shit. But like, it was pretty straightforward, like beat for beat. Yeah. You knew what was coming next.
Now I did not know that this movie was direct to video, so that's part of the issue I think that we had with this one is that most things that are direct to DVD or direct to video, if they don't have a theatrical release, that
kind of kills it.
It. You kind of know that it's not going to be that great. But being that it was direct to video, I thought the quality was actually really good. Mm-hmm. Especially jumping back and forth between times. And this is a thing that I looked at it, that it wasn't necessarily a haunting, but more like time travel.
Yeah.
Because they weren't going back to a ghost time. They were going back to an actual time.
Right.
So...
Yeah.
So I kind of looked at it that way, and I'm really not giving much away with it. But I do want to read a couple of the user reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. This one says, one of the worst movies of the year. Enough said. Very slight variations on multiple horror tropes makes this straight-to-video deal just barely watchable. No cohesion. But one of my favorites, and see if I can find it now... I would rather defecate in my own mouth than watch this movie again.
Ouch. That's harsh.
That's the best review ever.
But I don't think it was the worst review because this person said, I haven't seen a worse movie since I saw Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh, my God.
So if it's putting it below Garbage Pail Kids, then that's kind of saying something.
Yeah.
So... looking at it, like I said, the quality wasn't that bad. I just think it was. I just don't think it was a great story.
No.
So you didn't like it either.
And they tried.
It's not that I disliked it. It's not that I liked it either. It's like
it just kind of did
did
much
nothing
for
me.
Fair.
Yeah.
They tried. They tried to do something different with the twist in the end. And everything like that. It was for me a poopy bomb. So I'd rather defecate
in your own mouth than watch it again.
Probably.
I guess I'm the only party wiener here then.
Party wieners.
Party wieners.
So let's go around the table real quick and give our out of 10, Greg. You have to give it a high score anyway.
I know
you can't backtrack now.
No, I know. I'm not going to backpedal. I'll sit on it with a 7.
Yeah.
I thought it was worth watching, but whatever. Yeah. I'm 7. I'm sticking with it. I'm owning it.
Patrick,
I'll give it 2 fingers and 2 toes. 4.
Yeah, that's what I was about gonna. Now I'm gonna ride the middle and go 5.5.
Okay.
That's kind of high for me. I was going to say 4, but Patrick took it. So, yeah, I'm going to go.
Well, why can't you pick a 4? You could pick a 4.
You can still pick a 4.
Yeah, I'll go 5.5.
Okay.
I'll go higher.
I've picked the last 2 movies, and both of them have not been good. So I'm not doing it for the next time.
Yeah,
What was
well,
the one
we
you
have-
picked before this?
That was the giallo movie, the
Yes.
opera.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't watch that one.
Yeah. We have the next one essentially kind of picked. If we do, unless we want to call it a bonus episode and pick something, another movie on top,
Right,
on
right.
top of it.
Is that going to be in the timeline? Is that right?
Yes, because we're
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be a podcast a week.
Yep.
So we have an idea to go watch a movie and a podcast directly after. Do we want to add a watch movie on top of that movie, or do we want to?
No, I think we dedicate
podcast?
that podcast to that
Okay.
movie.
Then we don't need to pick a movie because we just
No.
know what we're gonna watch.
Yeah.
But I think the
Do
next.
we want to say what it is?
You want to?
Do
Yeah.
you want to say what it is?
Yeah. So we're gonna go see September 10th, Sunday, as a group.
Can't sleep. The clowns will eat me.
We're gonna go see
Can't
It.
sleep,
We're gonna
the
go see
clowns
the
will eat
new
me.
version of It, and I am so bomb excited. I cannot wait. I can't wait to drag Greg to it. I can't wait to drag my wife to it and see who screams louder. I am just ready to go see that film and chat it up.
And we are going in clown costumes, right?
Yes, we are. And
right.
hopefully Tom is available. It's a Sunday. I don't know if he's gonna
Yeah, we'll see.
be around or not.
You know, I don't use the letters FML that often, but I think this is an appropriate time.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm gonna sit between you and Elizabeth and just hold both your hands and see who screams louder.
I'm going to sit behind them so I can mess with them.
I'm gonna pick you two apart on that podcast. So this gives you a week, Greg, to kind of pump yourself up. Maybe go home and watch the original. Who knows?
I'm just
Go watch
hoping.
Clowntown.
I'm just hoping that it's good.
Yeah,
I
me
mean,
too.
there's part of me that maybe I'm building it up too much,
If
but
that,
I love the book so much that I just
that-
can't.
Well, you can't compare. You can't expect it coming off of the book
What, you
because
have
it's
to?
going to
No.
because they're going closer.
They're going
towards-
closer to the book
that
than what the
book.
original one.
be right,
Yeah.
but still, they look at the track record that Hollywood has for
I
creating
can,
sequels
I,
because
I
they.
can separate it enough. Like Shawshank Redemption and Misery and all of those. I can separate it enough that I know they can't put everything in the movie.
And
No, right.
As long as they don't turn around and do what like Kubrick did with The Shining,
Yeah.
where it's not where it's a movie based on the book as opposed to actually being a movie of the book.
Right.
if the movie is as good as that first 4 minutes that I saw during
So
Annabelle,
good. That was so good.
that movie's gonna kill.
Did they release that on YouTube or anything like
They
that?
did. You can watch it. Yeah, you can go on YouTube and watch it now.
Greg, you can go on
So-
YouTube and watch it.
Yeah.
You can go on YouTube and fuck off.
Why can't I think of his name? The new Pennywise is when he started talking, it's a whole new level of creepy.
A whole different
Yeah,
approach to it.
Way different. It's so it's just whisper, quiet, creepy. And he punches he enunciates everything.
Yeah.
He punches every word. It's just,
But what really
excited.
sells that scene that you saw was the kid's reaction.
yeah.
That kid was awesome.
That kid's
just
good.
in that 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Too bad he dies.
Too bad, yeah, he gets eaten by the clowns. Anyway, so should we do plugs real quick?
Can't sleep. The clowns will eat me.
Let's do plugs.
Do plugs. Prairie
Lights.
Lights Film Festival, October 20th through the 22nd.
Yeah.
And we've got Ghost Hunters showing there, and
Mm-hmm.
we just wrapped up the Crooked Cod piece of the contest,
Yep.
which will be showing there as well. So $10 for the weekend gets you
I gotta do that.
Friday through Sunday.
Can you still pre-order?
All
Yep.
movies
Till September, I think
10th.
10th.
I
Yeah.
think so.
I gotta do that.
And if you pre-order, then there's sample DVDs
Yep.
that have select movies from the weekend.
Yeah.
But those are limited, so get your tickets now so
Yeah.
you can get your DVD.
Get it in.
And my date for the weekend is Josh's wife.
Yep. Liz
Lucky
is
you.
going with Patrick.
Yep.
Ooh,
So-
buddy.
Yep. Hey, he's got to buy her dinner. I don't have to. Greg. Plug, sir.
If you're looking for some high quality movie reviews, they haven't been very new as of late because I've actually been working at work. Go to gregthemovieguy.blogspot.com. I've got a whole bunch of movie reviews on there that will keep you busy for probably 5 minutes or so.
Yeah. It's a
Or
good
more.
5 minutes, though.
It's pretty decent. I feel like I've written them pretty well. So go on there, check them out. I'm trying to get more movies on there. This whole 80s thing has been killer on the old blog review. But I've started a series with Indiana Jones. So I've got the first one up there, the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm hoping to knock out Temple of Doom here pretty quick. And then following will be The Last Crusade. And we won't mention that fourth piece of garbage.
That's too bad. That was my favorite one.
You lie.
I haven't seen any of them, actually. Yep.
You haven't seen Indiana Jones?
I've never seen Indiana Jones.
None of them?
We can skip that. So
Anyway, GregTheMovieGuy.blogspot.com if you're looking for those.
Also check us out on the Midnight FrightCast on Facebook. Go to MidnightFrightFilms.com. Tons of stuff up there. We're about to start our Midnight Bite series. Those will land on there. So you can see hopefully a new thing every month.
A new
short.
thing every month.
A new short.
My name is Josh, a new thing.
Shut up. Party wiener.
Wiener.
You'll be able to see a new bite hopefully every month on the website. So check us out there. Some Midnight Frights on Facebook. And that is all of the plugs, except for my nose. My nose is very plugged. Other than that.
And my hair plugs.
Yes. So besides those plugs, my nose plugs, and his hair plugs.
I won't tell you about my plugs.
We can wrap up the Midnight Fright.
And Greg's butt plugs.
Yeah. Aww.
We will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.